All right. My body's ready.
My body's doing the best it can.
You're born for this. You've been training your whole life for this.
Ugh, no, I have not. I have actively been doing the opposite.
All right, are you guys ready?
Yes, sir.
We already.
Here we go.
Fuck yeah.
Yes,
Nailed it.
yeah.
Picture perfect translation.
Warren, you are so not ready for this movie.
No, you're not.
All right.
It is taught.
Of course he's dead. The dosage was too large.
You killed him.
No, I did not. I gave him life.
The fuck? Do you know what life is? Because it was not that.
Ah, yes. Barbara Crampton.
Yes.
Oh, is this Barbara Crampton?
Yep.
No. 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 Yes.
That segue is so good.
My esteemed colleagues, capable, beautiful, loving daughter, the obsession of all who fall under her spell.
That's not
really
creepy at all.
creepy. That is really creepy.
No, not even a little.
He totally wants to bang the daughter. That's so wild.
Yeah, oh yeah.
What's her name again? Barbara Crampton?
Barbara Crampton.
Barbara sexy ass Crampton.
No.
Come on, you fat cat.
That's one way to encourage.
Come on now, you mad animal. You should try to hunt me.
Really loves his cat.
Really good tricks.
Where are you, you dumb bastard?
Here, kitty.
Yeah.
Here, kitty.
Come here, you little prick.
Yes.
Bruh.
That's one way to get down the stairs.
Fuck, on a bike or something? Like, what the
He's on a little moped riding around.
just drifting around the room like. Combo. Oh, Jesus. Fuck that cat.
West, no.
Sticks it in him instead.
Yeah.
West, stop.
If you won't help me,
I will make you
No. Yes, you will.
more alive than you already are. Like what?
so alive.
No, in the balls. Like what?
Don't expect it to tango. It has a broken back.
Life resides in the testicles.
He also doesn't have any guts.
Twice.
Nobody wants to be thrown around by a buff naked dude.
Oh shit! No! So he's technically a zombie, right? Is that essentially what's happening here?
I mean, I guess you could kind of classify it like that.
That's a one-way
He's
verdict.
definitely a member of the undead.
Yeah.
What is wrong with him, Doctor?
He's
Will he ever be-
Syphilis.
Until we know exactly what happened to him. There's
It
no
does
way to
that.
determine his course of
that's
recovery.
crazy.
But I'm convinced
But if
your
we go to
father's
dinner-
problem is neurological.
I thought he was gonna ask her to sign a thing to do exploratory surgery on her. That's why you need to let me do exploratory surgery on you. What? About to kill that guy. He's about to kill that guy. But like, what about this says this makes more sense?
I will be famous.
Oh shoot! No, my God! Bro. Now I'm gonna reanimate your head. Like what? Just the head and bring it back. I mean, he just killed that guy. What? This guy is unstable.
No.
Just a little nutty, you know.
Him and Christian Bale should
Everybody-
hang out.
Everybody's got their idiosyncrasies, Warren. Okay.
Parts.
I'm just gonna bypass
On whole
that word you used.
parts.
I'm gonna bypass that word and go right to no one has what this guy has. This guy is done. He's ate up in the head. Put it back on his body. Oh no. What are you doing? Wes. 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 Sir. Got him. And he gonna put his head back on his body. This is crazy. Like, this is wild.
You gotta stop
Like,
going to get coffee, bro.
Yeah, he like, I leave for 12 seconds. And what happens? What is going on in here?
Come on! Come on! No, wait! I am not through here! Meg! No! No! I told you I have a theory! Overdose! No!
Did he say overdose?
Yep.
Yeah, I think so.
That's one of his attacks as a superhero. I'll hit him with my overdose. I love it. I'm out. I'm not shooting nothing. I'm not asking no questions. Goodbye. What? I think they're answering my question that I had about 2 minutes ago. Like, why would anybody want to recreate this? But when the woman that you love just dies and is like probably within that window, are you gonna fill it all the way up? How much are you gonna use? Oh my
look at
god!
all of it. Oh man. I would have put a little more in there myself.
What's your reasoning? Like, you didn't even read his notes, so you don't know. I mean, he could have told him, like, you have to do it a certain way. There's an emotion that has to be attached to it. What? Wow.
This is We're Gonna Make You Watch.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of We're Gonna Make You Watch. I am Brian. With me, as always, are my good friends Isaiah and Warren. And in this episode, we introduced Warren to a bloody good time of a movie, Re-animator. One of my absolute loves in horror is Barbara Crampton, and we got to introduce him to his first Barbara Crampton movie, first of hopefully many.
Yep.
So I've always loved Barbara Crampton. I think she's fantastic. She's still fucking kicking ass too.
Oh yeah.
Love it. Before we get too deep into the conversation, how have you guys been doing?
Pretty damn good. Just starting my
Good deal.
vacation
Yeah,
right now.
Yeah. Officially vacation.
Officially
I
vacation.
like it.
Summer's just starting,
Officially.
so it was the perfect time to take vacation. The new expansion for Destiny drops this next week, so that's what my week is going to be like. So,
Yes.
Yeah.
And,
so I'm looking forward to that. And then beyond that,
Warren's like, quit stealing my content, Isaiah.
sorry.
Oh no, he's good. He's good. He's okay.
Beyond that, I went and saw In a Violent Nature that just released at the time that we're
Yes.
recording this. Very interesting
Thoughts?
movie. I enjoyed it.
Mm.
It's not going to be for
Good.
everybody though. I know I talked to you about this a little bit the other night, Brian.
Right.
But yeah, I mean it's definitely different. They call it, I think it's like ambient horror because there's no music in it whatsoever. And basically the kind of whole feel of it is almost like as if you were playing like Friday the 13th or something like that as Jason. So you're following the killer basically the majority of the movie other than a few key scenes. So that's an
sounds super
interesting,
cool to me.
concept. And I thought they did pretty good with it. It's kind of more of an artsy movie, so I could see where a lot of people might think it might be boring just because it's following the killer and it's just a totally different concept. But I enjoyed it for what it was, So that was a lot of fun. Beyond that,
Hell yeah.
I ain't got nothing much else going on other than I've just been kind of gaming this week, getting ready for, Destiny. So I've been back into Destiny, doing some of that, and yeah, just looking forward to this next week. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Very nice. Very cool. All right, Warren.
I haven't been doing that.
You
I
haven't been watching In a Violent Nature?
No, I haven't been doing that. But no, I didn't even think about the fact that it was June. Like I was like, oh, it's the first month. Rent's fucking due. But then a video popped up on my algorithm and it was like final shape in 3 days, and I was like, oh man, I should probably be doing some some stuff on Destiny. I mean, I'm sure I'll be all right, but like could have been grinding Onslaught a lot more these last few days. But I actually just haven't been gaming a whole lot these past like couple weeks or whatever because Ryan had surgery, so I've been kind of busy ripping her and
Mhm.
running her around.
Yeah.
Because
How's
she
she
had a
doing?
pinch. She's going through it.
Okay.
Um, she's okay, but yeah, when you have surgery, it's not fun afterwards.
Right.
No,
Um,
no, I would imagine not.
but
I've never
yeah,
had one, so I don't know.
she had surgery on her ankle. She had torn ligaments in her ankle, and then now she had to have surgery on her leg because there was a pinched nerve,
Mm.
so it wasn't healing properly and whatnot. So they had to go in and unpinch that nerve. So she's kind of just
Okay.
dealing with that. So I say that to say this that in the process of that, I was introduced to True Lies with Jamie Lee Curtis and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Holy
You'd
shit.
never seen that
I
before.
had never seen
Oh.
that movie.
How awesome is that?
So she was like, I want to watch True Lies. And it's on Disney Plus. So you don't buy it or rent it if you don't own it. Just go to Disney Plus if you have that and it's on there.
Yeah.
So
That's
that
a fucking great movie.
Yeah, and it checked off all the boxes. She's got like a list for action movies, explosions, guns, chase scenes, it had all that stuff. And very ridiculous movie, very ridiculous. But it was pretty funny. But I just thought it was interesting because I was like, man, I found myself asking like, when did this come out? Because Jamie Lee Curtis was in it. So I was like, oh, where's the correlation between when she did this versus some of the other things that I've seen her in now because we've been doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Um but it just I had never seen it. And so now I have. And
Yeah, that came out much later.
it did. It did.
That
But
was Halloween was her most successful film until she did that.
Yep.
which is crazy because
Yeah.
that should not be the case based on what I watched. Like not saying it's a bad movie, but like that should not have been the follow up successful. Like we should have had some in between then. But yeah, and then other than that was the little bit of gaming that I was doing. I was actually playing Assassin's Creed Mirage
Okay.
because I was getting a little hyped for the Assassin's Creed Shadows, I think is what it's called.
Yes.
And it's
I
Yeah,
gonna
can't
isn't that
wait.
Samurais?
Yep.
Yeah, it's gonna
Yeah.
have Yasuke in it, and then a character that I believe that they're creating as the shinobi side of it.
Very
So
cool.
Yasuke, who is an actual person, um, will be the samurai portion, and then the girl will be the uh shinobi aspect of it. And I think you'll probably bounce back and forth between the characters throughout
Very
the.
cool.
Mhm.
But that's been the cause of a lot of controversy over the last few weeks because people are like in their feelings about it. But I don't care. I just want it to be a good game.
Exactly.
So, then other than that, yeah, just the same old stuff. Watching wrestling. Been just trying to make it to the weekend. I'm just glad to not have to do anything for a day because that's all I've been doing is ripping and running. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's see. What did I do here recently? Well, I went down to Arkansas, fought a tornado,
Shit.
and watched
That's a
my daughter get married all in one weekend. It was a good time. It was a lot of emotions, but it was really cool. It was really fun. It was really emotional watching my daughter get married, but we had a good time. Um, I watched. I spent a lot of money on vinyl that I probably shouldn't have done. But with that, I did get Milli Vanilli's greatest hits, so I call that a win. um, and I bought Killer Clowns from Outer Space, the video game, and I've been playing that, and it's a lot of fun. I don't know what kind of legs it'll have. But as of right now, after a couple of days of playing it, I'm having a really good time still. And hopefully they continue to support it well enough to where I don't fucking stop playing it super quick like I did Chainsaw
Yeah.
and Evil Dead, honestly, too. Because Evil Dead was a lot of fun at first, but I didn't play it very long because it just really wasn't a reason to.
I mean that, and then they
Um,
just stopped supporting it after a year. It's like Jesus,
yeah, I
way to kill
know.
a game
Yeah,
so
Evil Dead,
quickly.
they did. It was basically a year after launch that they said, "Well, we're done. Hope you guys had fun." But hopefully, Killer Clowns gets a lot of support. It's so far it is. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot. It's a lot of fun. Um, and then today. I watched Late Night with the Devil.
Oh yeah, what'd you think of that?
I loved it. Thought it was very cool. David Dastmalchian is a really good actor. He played Polka Dot Man in Suicide
Yep.
Squad with James Gunn, by James Gunn. I mean. And he was a producer on this as well. It's a really cool movie. It's basically when you're watching the movie, you are watching. It's like you're watching an episode of a late night TV show in the late 70s. It's presented like that. It's presented like it's a almost a pseudo, I guess, found footage in a way. I mean, because the vast majority of the movie is you are
The
watching a
episode.
late night TV
Yeah.
show, and then in between the commercials, you're watching air quote behind the scenes footage of them talking, and there's more expository stuff that you're watching. But it's a really cool movie. I really enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was very good. Um,
I enjoyed it as well.
Yeah, you did good. Good deal. Good deal. I'm glad you liked it. Warren's gonna hate it. I can't wait to show it to him. But yeah. Other than that, that's pretty much what I got going on, and that brings us all full circle to now. Let's get into it. Warren, we just showed you Re-animator, man. What are your initial thoughts?
It's just a weird film. Just very strange. I'm getting to a space now where some of these don't feel like horror movies anymore. They're just very strange movies. And
Okay.
this is probably the strangest of all of them.
Oh, you just wait until we show you Bride of Re-animator.
Well, I couldn't imagine who that would be and why that would be happening. Yeah, the concept of the movie very interesting. It definitely can keep you engaged with the way that they kind of keep stringing you along about what's happening, what he wants to achieve,
Yeah.
and then like when they give you little snippets here and there of it working but not fully working, and then you're like, well, what went wrong? Like, what's going to happen now? Like, are they dead? Are they alive? Like, what's going on? And it keeps you very engaged because we usually in these movies we have like a person that's considered the killer. So then you're like, oh, we keep an eye out for him, how they interact with the rest of the people that are involved for whatever various reason. But I didn't feel like we had a killer until the end of the movie. We had a really psychopathic scientist that was willing to do anything for his research, but I felt like the actual killer or the stereotypical killer that we would have in a horror film came in after with the doctor. I think Dr. Hill was his name.
Mhm.
Hmm.
He kind of took on the typical mantra of like the killer, the guy that is trying to make something happen and then everyone's trying to survive him. But as a result of West and Kane being complete morons, despite how smart they actually are,
Yeah.
it led to him being there. And then obviously West did commit some murders in his own right throughout the film. So he was also technically a killer, but it didn't feel like it, especially towards the end. He just kind of felt like a guy who was there and was a part of it, like the rest of them, trying
Right.
to withstand. Really, and true to his character throughout the whole movie, his work was the only thing that mattered to him. He didn't even care about dying, apparently.
Right.
Yep.
Because at the very end, all he did was just kind of toss his notes. I was like, my notes, and I was like, bro, that's your
Yeah.
priority right now.
Yeah, that's all he cared. That was his legacy. That was his
That was his
legacy.
legacy. But yeah, very strange movie. I'm not sure if this was the first one we could have gone with for Barbara Crampton. Like I don't know if this is like the most iconic, but
Well, this movie is highly regarded.
I would
This
say it's the
movie's
most
had
iconic for her.
yeah, it certainly
okay.
is. This movie is certified fresh, man. This is a 95% critic review.
Well, because I only say
Yeah.
that because I don't know. I mean, you guys were talking about her a lot going into it.
Yeah.
As one of the top scream queens. And so I didn't know if there
Yeah.
was a different way to have been introduced with her that would have done her any
Oh,
more
all of them
justice
are
than
great. It
this.
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But
like all of them are awesome.
I honestly,
But-
I don't think there's one movie of hers that I don't like. So
I don't
I
think
was-
there is either.
I was gonna
Chopping
say-
Mall's a blast.
yeah, Chopping Mall's another really good one.
From Beyond.
Yep, another H.P. Lovecraft one.
That's- Yeah, another Stuart Gordon film
With
too.
Jeffrey Combs.
With Jeffrey Combs. Yeah, with
Yep.
Jeffrey Combs.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you.
Yeah, there was a lot we could have picked.
Yeah.
We didn't. I don't think we necessarily picked this just because it was a Barbara Crampton movie. Isaiah, you picked this. Why'd you pick this?
You know, this has been one of my favorite. I would say probably top 20 for sure horror movies of all time for me.
Nice.
I remember when I first saw this, I was I think like junior high, and my aunt and uncle used to babysit us a lot when my mom would work 2 jobs or whatnot, and so we were like staying the night over at my aunt and uncle's, and they had just like a vast collection of like VHS tapes. So I remember going through late one night, it was like a Saturday or something, and I found Re-animator and popped it in because obviously I loved horror movies at that point, and saw everything, you know, Barbara Crampton in all her glory, fell in love, you know, and just loved
As you should.
exactly, and just loved everything about the movie. I mean, the gore, I mean, everything. I was so infatuated with, you know, horror at this point, you know, getting into my teen years, that it kind of checked the box for everything. And you know, I love zombie movies, and you know, you kind of, you know, said, you know, something about during the reaction about how when we were watching about them being zombies, and they basically kind of are, you know, they're undead and whatnot, and it's just a different form of zombie, and you know, it just had everything. And I love practical effects. I will always choose practical effects over everything. And this has some of the best practical effects in especially
So,
80s horror movies.
Such a gross, wonderful, fucking goopy, messy movie.
It
I
really
love
is. And it doesn't
Yeah,
it doesn't
it's-
linger too long. It's a very short kind of movie. It's only 80 some minutes. So it doesn't overstay its welcome. It's perfect. I mean, it was good enough to create, you know, 2 sequels, and they were working on a 4th that never came to fruition, but I really wish it did, because
Oh, I didn't know there was they were working on a
God,
fourth.
House of Re-animator. They were going to have Herbert West
Oh.
reanimate the President of the United States.
Oh yeah, that would have been fantastic.
Oh, so Herbert's alive.
Yeah, spoiler.
Yeah. Spoiler, yeah, there's 2 more. I've actually never seen either of the sequels.
Oh my God.
I've never seen them. I don't know why I never watched them, but it might have to do with the fact that I was late to the party with this one.
Okay.
For some reason, it just never was a movie that I gravitated to when I was younger. But I did finally watch it when I was well in the military. I was probably almost out of the military.
Mhm.
So because the movie came out in '85.
Yep.
I probably watched it 15 years after it came back, and it came out in 2000, which would be actually like the year that Beyond Re-animator fucking came out.
Mhm.
So I didn't even watch the first one until the third one was probably almost out.
Yeah, because I think that was like
or-
2003 or something like that. Something around there.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, 2000, 2003. Yeah, because I think the second one came out in '90.
I believe so.
Yeah, and then I think the 13 years later. So yeah, it probably came out 2003. But yeah, so I probably watched this in 2000.
Yeah.
So
Because like with the one thing I will say with the sequels, because you know, I kind of mentioned jokingly at the beginning that you haven't seen nothing yet, that we need to show you Bride of Re-animator, because like Re-animator's ridiculous, but Bride is like ridiculous.
dials it up,
ridiculous.
huh?
Yeah, it's
Fuck yeah.
It's fucking great. Beyond is kind of like it's okay. It's a sequel. It was a direct to video sequel. I mean, you can't really
Okay.
complain too much. It was an interesting story, Herbert West in jail and whatnot. So, and still carrying on with his
Oh, okay.
experiments. But yeah, Bride. I think
Interesting.
I like Bride more than the original.
Oh, fantastic.
So-
Yeah, I love that. I love that. That makes me excited to watch it. Shit, maybe I'll put that on tonight. But yeah, I didn't watch this until yeah, probably around 2000 maybe.
Okay.
I remember when I rented it. It was a horror movie night with some friends.
Mhm.
With a couple buddies and whatnot, and we said, hey, we're fucking, let's go pick up a bunch of fucking dumb horror movies, and this was one of them that we'd rented. We also, I think we rented fucking Faces of Death that night too.
Oh Jesus.
Well, what a name that is.
Faces of Death is so stupid.
Couldn't imagine what that would be about.
Oh yeah, it's stupid. Yeah, we rented this with like Faces of Death, and I think we rented something like, I don't know, it might have been Swamp Thing or some shit. Like we
Swamp Thing.
rented like 3 or maybe 4 horror movies, and we just watched horror movies all night.
Love it.
But yeah, I after I watched this though, I fell in love with it. What if it's a great combination of horror and comedy. Because it gets super stupid, especially after they reanimate Hill.
Mm-hmm.
And he's walking around, he's all bumbling around. Got that stupid fucking prosthetic model head on it. It just looks ridiculous. It's so funny. It's such a cool movie. And you're right, you nailed it. The practical effects on this are so fucking good too. Yeah, this is a cool fucking movie, dude. I'm so glad. It was and like I mentioned earlier, this is a very this is a critically acclaimed film. I don't know what it was like when it first came out. I would imagine that upon release, it probably was not not as loved.
I mean,
I
Empire
would imagine.
Pictures released it, so I mean, you know, it's so yeah, I mean, it's definitely B horror movie, but it's just pure gold, you know. The one thing with this movie though, and cuz do you know who they originally had in mind for Dr. Hill?
Oh no, I have no idea who.
Christopher Lee. Could you imagine if Christopher Lee
No
would have
shit. Oh,
done
I
that?
can see why they went with David Gale then, because they kind of got a similar presence
Mm-hmm.
in a way. Wow, Christopher Lee was considered for that role. No shit. I
Yeah,
like that. That would've
they
been
wrote it specifically for him, but obviously he didn't do it, so they went with David Gale.
really okay.
But I couldn't even imagine if they would have actually gotten him to do that role. That would have been wild.
Wow, that would have been really cool. That would have been really good. Not that, but you know what? David Gale was great in this.
Oh,
so.
for sure.
Yeah, David Gale was really good in this movie. So yeah, this is it's got a really good soundtrack. Yeah, it's a very it's basically they've ripped off Bernard Herrmann's score for Psycho. Richard Band did the music for this.
Yeah.
I
I think Leonard
Yeah,
Maltin like knocked a something off the rating because of that.
Oh no shit, that's
Yeah.
funny. Well, let's see the reception. The film was well received by critics. No shit. That surprises me.
really
Roger Ebert liked this fucking movie. 3 out of 4 stars. I walked out somewhat surprised and reinvigorated, if not reanimated, by a movie that had the audience emitting taxi whistles and wild goat cries. Wow. Janet Maslin wrote Re-animator has a fast pace and a good deal of grisly vitality. It even has a sense of humor, albeit one that would be lost on 99.9% of any ordinary movie-going crowd. That's funny. That's great that the critics liked this when it first came out,
Yeah.
because movies like this typically get kind of shit on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they liked this and they didn't like fucking The Thing?
I know it's a weird world
Isn't
we
that
live in.
what a strange fucking planet we live on. where this was praised when it came out and The Thing was shunned. Wow, that's some wild shit, man. Oh my gosh. Any scenes that you want to talk about there, Warren? Any fucking really fun, grisly, cool scenes?
Any scenes? This is you just put the whole movie down. Boom, one scene. All of the movie. Jesus.
You know, I knew we were gonna get some reactions from you because your thing that you don't really care for is gore. You just you say you're not the
Yeah.
big fan of the gore.
And this has it
So
in buckets.
the opening sequence, the dude's eyes start exploding
Yes,
and
I
shit.
started exploding. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna just give up now. Like it's over with. I don't have a chance. And I was
Nah.
eating too. Like I was like, that's why I was like,
When you said, I am not gonna lie, when you said get some noodles, I was just like, oh fuck.
I did the
It
right
might
thing
have been
though.
a
Like
bad choice.
I just kind of treated it like a podcast at the beginning and just listened to it while I was eating. And when I feel like something's gonna happen, I'd look down so I could chew and then look back up and then be ready to roll. Obviously that was crazy. The opening, um, the cat scene was hilarious to me. I didn't laugh very much, but it was pretty funny. I mean, you come down there and that cat's like
It's
kicking West's ass,
attached to
like
Herbert's
like
back.
it is just giving him the business. Like he is losing. And then at one point, nobody decides to like stop the light from moving so they could just see. So they're like, "What's going on? What's going on?" And the lights fucking swaying. You can't see nothing. But it did sound like that cat was on like a moped or something, just
That was
driving
funny as
by.
hell, yeah.
It's just the
Yeah, when
visual
you
in my
said
head was funny.
that.
Um, the scene at the end with Hill might have been one of the creepiest things I've
Mhm.
experienced in
Yeah,
a movie.
the
um,
SA
Yeah.
scene. Yeah.
yeah, that was some wild stuff.
Pretty gross
Um,
shit.
yeah, yeah, and kind of uncomfortable as well. Like I was like,
Oh yeah, well it's it's because you're a
uh,
good person.
yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, well, there's all kinds of stuff. I mean, yeah, like when he was when Hill was doing the demonstration and he just peeled that person's face off. I was like, why is this happening? It's
Medical
not
school, man.
okay. Yeah, well, that's why I didn't go. Um,
That's why.
that's exactly why I didn't
That's
go.
exactly why.
Like I used to like when I used to want to be a surgeon. That was actually a thing I wanted to be growing up, and I found out very quickly that that was not going to work out for me. Um,
Jeez.
Did you like
the,
get to like cut your finger like Niles on Frasier and pass out?
no, I just when I started seeing things that had like a lot of gore in it, I was like, I would assume a surgeon would have to see a lot of this. Not really for me. Gonna go ahead and pass on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's all kind of stuff you could pick from a plethora of moments
Mhm.
that you could go to in this
I
film.
mean, this movie is so funny to me. That booty ass naked buff dude knocks the door down, crushes her fucking dad.
Then bites his fingers off. I'm like, what is
Bites.
happening?
Yeah, you didn't like that. You're like,
I
no.
was
With
like, what are we
the
doing?
second you saw his fingers in that dude's mouth, you were like, no.
Yeah, like because he knew it was coming. He was just gonna bite him off. He just knocked a door over. You gonna put your fingers in his mouth? Like your fingers are now gone. You just donated your fingers to his body. Like that's stupid. Why would you do that?
Oh,
He was
good,
fighting for his
good
life,
stuff.
I guess. But
Yeah. You throw caution to the wind, and sometimes a finger too. But okay, that was good stuff. That was a good. That was a good fun talk. I'm glad you. So, did you like it? I mean, you didn't really say.
yeah, it was fine.
It was
It
fine.
was fine. It
You
was
know,
fine.
one of these days, I'm gonna ask you. Hey, like, hey man, did you like that movie? You're gonna be like, man, I fucking love that.
And it's gonna be the special Christmas episode when we watch a Disney movie.
Yeah, we watched Moana too. It's like, man, that was fucking great.
This is a great movie. What y'all watch? Power Rangers 1995. Like this is great. Great episode.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, man. Well, that was a fun time. I'm glad you had fun with that. We're gonna we're gonna stay in the 80s and for this next episode, We're actually going to show you the first horror movie that I remember seeing as a child. I don't know if this is actually the first horror movie I ever watched, but this is the first horror movie that I have memories of watching. And it's got your girl Jamie Lee Curtis in it.
Yep.
Actually,
Very popular
yeah,
in the
she's
genre.
alright. Yeah, she's done a pretty good.
Very, very popular in the genre. A lot of
Yeah,
reoccurrences.
just a little bit.
Yeah.
But we are actually going to introduce you to John Carpenter's The Fog. Have you ever seen The Fog?
No.
All right, fucking-tastic. It's got Adrienne Barbeau, Jamie Lee Curtis. It's got Tom Atkins is in this movie.
Tom Atkins. Stash.
It's got he's stash list.
I know, it's so weird.
One of his very few movies that he did without his gorgeous mustache. But yeah, this is one of, in my opinion, the greatest ghost stories ever put on film. And it almost didn't work. I know a lot about this movie because it's so near and dear to my heart. So I'll probably go off on the next episode, and I apologize, guys, listeners, viewers, all that. You're gonna probably hear a lot of my fucking dumbass voice on the next episode. But anything you guys want to add to the little Sunday that is our fucking bi-weekly treat to these guys before we slide out of here?
Just make sure to check out the YouTube for the full videos with the reaction.
Please
I don't know why
do.
that makes me laugh every time.
It makes me laugh too. And the reason it makes me laugh is because he's like, I know I'm fucking doing this for a goddamn reason. Because it's so much work.
It's so much work.
Please watch my work. Don't let it go unnoticed. And it doesn't, because I watch it. And you do a great job.
I watch it. Ryan watched the episode with me the other day.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Which one?
Yeah. The last one. Was it Prom Night?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah,
Not whatever one you just uploaded. Yeah, I think it was that one.
All right, cool.
Prom Night.
Yeah, it was Prom
We
Night.
watched it, and she laughed at us
Hey, good. Good
because we're
deal.
stupid. So
We are, but All right. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching and listening and all that fantastic shit. Make sure you like, subscribe, do all that good fun stuff so Isaiah can sleep at night. And
Please help me sleep.
we love you guys, and we will catch you all on the next episode.